starts dawning. It's so nice. Okay, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling free. Suddenly something is relaxed. Have you experienced in meditation? You suddenly start relaxing more and more and more and more and more. And as you relax, as certain motor skills or certain parts of body or mind starts going, calmer and calmer, suddenly something starts expanding also at the same time. How many of us have experienced that, right? At the same time, something expands. Peace is coming. The peace is nothing that you need to create or do. You know, peace is with us all the time. Joy, peace, love is all the time with us. It just, the distortions need to relax. The more and more these distortions, these stresses and everything starts becoming, calming down, you're calm and clean and pure, nervous system, start experiencing that peace and start expanding. The journey of peace from within you to outward start expanding, and the negativity or the distortion start dissolving inside. They go inside, dissolve, and the peace starts coming out. It's very good. It's at the same time it happens. Vichara, self-inquiry. How come it is like that? What is going on? How the elements operate? How from the space air element is created? You know this, right? From the space, how the air element is created, then fire element is created. From the air, fire comes in. From the fire, water element comes later. And then comes the earth. Can you imagine? Doesn't make sense, right? That is how it is. How each element brings the other thing and everything, and all the five elements are there, life starts erupting. It's very nice. It's very beautiful when you see. Then the next thing happens. Santosha paramo labha, satsangha parama gati, vicharaha paramam jnanam, samohi paramam sukham. From the vichara, inquiry and contentment, you reach a space of contentment. So I've used the word, you reach a space of contentment. It's not your creating. It's already there. It's we who have moved away from that space. We who have created all these actions and goals and desires, and I want this and I want that. The more you keep creating all that, you keep moving away from all that. And all the, no actions can bring you love. No action, no word can bring you love, enlightenment, joy, nothing. That is very temporary. That is always with you. That which is always with you cannot be given. You can't do it by words, by actions, by karma. It is just there. It is how it is. Contentment. You reach a space of nothing to do. I am home. Feeling so nice. Doesn't mean that you don't do anything after that. People think, once I'm content, why would I be dynamic enough to do something? No. A stressed mind does something, what will be the result? A contented mind takes an action. What will be the result? What will be the fruit? What will be the deva? What will be the fruit of action? You guys know it better. Right? So from contentment, when an action comes out. From inside the sun, the light comes out. From outside, no. From inside it comes out. It emanates. It's very, very nice. And the fourth is satsanga. It's very important. Sangha is important. Yes? Are you sure? Sangha is very important. The company we keep is Very, very important. Yeah. Let us not, how do you say, let us be very aware of this fact that I go and sit here, I go and talk here, I eat this, I do that. I am doing so many things in this life. Whatever I can say, I can give myself many reasons. Oh, it is necessary for me to do it. Oh, without this I cannot live. Ah, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. No matter what you are saying, your associations are purely because of you. You are making that choice. Isn't it? The company, the friendship, there, where you move around, you are creating those associations. Isn't it? Unless you are in a plane, but that also is chosen. I agreed to go in this plane from one place to another with those 300 people, whatever. So when my association is my responsibility, my choice, then the influence of that on my mind is also because of my choice. Isn't it? So I might have a wonderful influence or a wonderful experience, or I might not have a good experience and everything. I cannot blame that person. That person was agitated and angry and he passed it on to me. I grabbed it. It is not his fault. I was there. Or I could put a shield, so not allow it to do, or I could do, I could throw it. I didn't do any of those things where my mind goes, because of you I'm unhappy. No. And this, this thing on the path I've heard many, many a times. People tell me, it's okay, one day I can sit in satsang, do meditate, prayer, seva, all these things, And sometimes I get bored of it. I like to do wild stuff. Then I go to bars, I do this. You need to be balanced in life. Really? You call that balance? There are many more things I can tell you to do. It's like Guruji says very nicely, he says, like a fly. A fly does not have a mind where it goes. It goes and sits on, what? And it comes and sits on your food. It's like the imprints, the footprints, your footprints, you're taking yourself, your carbon footprint, whatever. Where are you taking yourself? This mind, this nervous system, this consciousness, wherever you take, whosoever you associate with, they knowingly, unknowingly, wanting, unwanting, they start influencing you. And you start getting influenced, isn't it? In that, Guruji used to say in English, Hindi used to say, ना किसी के प्रभाव में रहो, ना किसी के किसी चीज की अभाव में रहो, अपने स्वभाव में रहो. Neither you live on, under other people's influence, nor you feel that you lack anything, under the feeling of lack. Neither on the influence of other, nor a feeling of lack of anything in your life. You just live with your natural self. Yeah? That is what it is all about. Yeah? Satsanga, when you spend time in knowledge and wisdom, in actions and things which are towards nature, towards dharma, you start becoming that. You start becoming that and you start radiating that wherever you go. Your family, your people, everything around you start noticing it. And they get influenced in that manner. And I think it's a good influence. And nothing wrong with that influence. Now, it clearly says something very santosha paramo labha. In every action, we seek some profit. Isn't it? In every action, we are seeking some fruit. We will not take an action if there is not a fruit. Isn't it? Yes? Santosha paramo labha. The greatest fruit, the greatest profit in your life, not profit. The greatest profit in your life is contentment. There is nothing more beautiful than contentment. That is the highest you can attain. Contentment. And you have to begin from there, not end there. We think, I will do this and I'll be contented. I'll do that and I'll be contented. No. We have to begin from contentment. Very nicely it said, Satsangaha Paramaha Gati. My goal, my home, where I feel home. Where do I feel home? In the good company. I feel where my family is, my friends are, I share my life, I share my heart, I'm able to speak to them, communicate with them. Yeah? Satsang is a Paramogati, my ultimate home, my place where I want to rest is Satsang. In Sangaha you rest, isn't it? I'm asking you. Yes? It's very important. It's very, very important. Vichara paramam jnanam. Now we have this idea of knowledge. Knowledge is books, knowledge is this, knowledge is that, which are no. What is the definition of knowledge? Spirit of inquiry. What is knowledge? Spirit of inquiry. If you don't have spirit of inquiry, what will a few words give you? Isn't it? Yes? Vichara, your thought process, the spirit of inquiry is the highest knowledge. Your spirit of inquiry. Because you are tired of this world. You feel like this. Nothing, I got this from this world. So many years pass by. Nothing I got. Where am I going wrong? What's happening? I'm still not happy. Why am I not happy? What's going on? Is my wife going to make me happy? My husband, my money, my house, my health? Oh, what's going on? Why am I not happy? Why am I not blissed out? Vichara, spirit of inquiry. In some people, this doesn't even happen. Isn't it? We see so many people driven. Isn't it? Driven by passion, driven by ego, driven by wanting to create, wanting to do, make big, do big, want to capture a seat, become prime ministers, elections are going on. I know the best way to do things, I can govern all of you, I can do everything. I'm the best person for the seat. All they are driven. People are driven. They don't even realize. Arey Baba, sit, have a glass of water, have vichara, think. Why are you doing this? What is the whole purpose of this? That spirit is the key. The spirit of the inquiry is the highest or the most beautiful knowledge. Without that, it's like you have a safe with billions of dollars inside, don't have the key. You want a bomb to blow it away. You don't have the key, whatever you do. It's very interesting. Shamo hi paramam sukham. Yeah? And this is very nice. Self-discipline is your greatest happiness. We forget this, I tell you. This is one thing we forget. We think happiness is, I don't know what. But when your mind, body, everything is in nice rhythm, in harmony with nature, through the actions or through the whatever, the discipline that you have taken on. Have you experienced? When you do, don't we all feel good about when we have done a certain months or days of good jogging or losing weight, or I feel good too. Lost 6 kgs. Feel good. Wow. So tell me honestly, don't we feel so happy when we have done little things for our own self and we somehow feel different from inside, isn't it? Most beautiful happiness, shama, self-effort, self-discipline. Without self-effort, self-discipline cannot come, isn't it? It's very, very important. These 4 things, we think, who's my best friend? Who is my best friend? Satsanga. Sangha. Yeah? What is the highest wisdom? Self-inquiry. And what is the highest happiness?
Self-discipline.
Self-discipline. Contentment is what? As the highest profit. The gain. Whatever you see, anything that you want to gain, ultimately from anything is what? Contentment. Isn't it? So contentment is my highest gain. Satsanga is my most beautiful companion in my life. Not husband wife. Could be. I mean, if your husband and wife are both in knowledge, they can be the most bestest friend and great companion to each other. Isn't it? Possible. So you choose. I mean, we both choose. Yeah. And the nice knowledge, the spirit of inquiry is greatest wisdom. If you don't have the spirit of knowledge, all these books are just books. They have no meaning at all. These words are just words. And self-control. Yeah, self-discipline is happiness, joy. When you're disciplined, you feel a lot of joy. You have some time, 5 more minutes, 10 minutes. Okay, now this, that's why I think maybe I'm reading this. Yukti yuktam upadayam vachanam balakanapi anyatranam iva tyajam api uktam padma janamana. He said, even if Lord Brahma, you know Lord Brahma? The Creator. He said, even if Lord Brahma, the Creator, comes in front of you and starts speaking words, it does not make sense. Not in knowledge, don't accept them. Don't. And he said, even if a little boy, seemingly little boy, speaks beautiful knowledge, take it. Do you get what I'm saying? Wisdom is not bound by date, age, person, this and that. He said, that's why its focus is on knowledge only. It's very, very important. Yeah. Reject it. Simply says, reject it. Tyajam. Just reject the words. Seemingly enlightened person. The words being uttered are bizarre. Reject them. Even if I'll tell you, it's I don't know if I've shared this with you. No. Gurus can come in various forms, in various times. We think a guru is one person, one being. No. Guru is also that moment. And that could be a stranger in your life. When I first met Guruji, in an advanced course, and he asked me to, it's a long story, I will just tell you part of it. So he told me, I will take you to German ashram. And at that time I was not a teacher. And he said, go to Delhi, you get your passport done and we will go to Germany. I said, oh wow, very nice. Why not? So I came back to Delhi and immediately, very enthusiastic about filling up the forms and getting things ready and, apply and get a passport done. And funnily, for 2-3 months, there was no letter, no nothing from coming from the passport office. And I'm like, what is happening? What's going on? And you can't enter the passport office. India, it's a different story. You can't go inside and say, hey, where is my file and what's going on? What's the status and everything. Nobody tells you anything. So I went and found some member of parliament or somebody, got a letter. So I'm going to go to the highest officer and I'm going to show him the letter. It will work. It will push him to open up the file and see. So I was very happy. I walked into that office and perhaps that guy was eating food or I was in a meeting, I don't remember. But outside the office, there was this, in India we say this doorkeeper. With a gun. Doorkeeper with a gun. Security guy. And they are the simplest employees. They are not even part of the whole system. He was an older guy sitting there, and I was sitting there and everything. I was seemingly little, maybe stressed or whatever. He looked at me and he said, "Ji, Babuji, sir, you have come here. Why have you come here?" I've come to meet this guy, my file is missing, man. I have to get my passport. You look like a very educated person. Of course. Of course, I'm a chartered accountant, I'm this and I'm that, Generally, Babuji, sir, generally people are not easily, they can't meet this officer. How will you meet him? Hey, I've got a members of parliament letter. He kept quiet for a while. So what do you want to do here? I want to get the file open and I want my passport to be quickly processed. He kept quiet. Then as I got up, he said, you want to check inside? He looked at me and smiled. He said, sir, you look like a very educated person, but you are using somebody else's shoulder to fire your bullet.
Oh, wow.
Whoa, man. Generally I would have blasted him. But then I thought, what powerful words. That truth is speaking. I'm thinking that I'm holding this letter and I'm supreme. I can break over the door and I walk in and do whatever I want to do. You know what? I kept the letter and I just kept it in my pocket. I didn't even open it. I said, can you at least allow me to go in? And I walked in. I said, sir, can I talk to you for 2 minutes? He looked at me and says, what do you want? I said, 3 months. My letter is, there's no letter, nothing. I looked at him. So, what do you want to do? My guru told me to get this passport. I'm going to travel with him. Okay. You take this guy, you go to the storage area, and you find your file. I went there, you won't believe. Sorry. You have racks and racks of files. And there was one corner where all the files had fallen down. There must have been 500 files. I'm like, oh God. I said, sir, can you help me out? Yeah, come. So one by one we started opening the file and my file was almost at the end. No wonder nobody was checking it. Yeah? I took out the file and I went to him, sir. See, 2 months ago it was clear. And it's under the pile, so it's not reaching. So he said, no, you do it. And he just did it. But those words still ring in my mind. After 18 years, I tell you, this was 96 perhaps. Those words still ring in my mind. Which person, when can utter what? And open up your conscience or, push that button in you and wake you up. Who knows? No, let's be open. Let's be receiving like this, not shut. Who knows? A guru can come in many forms. We only think of a guru in one form. Not at all. The guru is the entire universe. The Shakti, the power of the master, is the entire existence. It's a guru. It is teaching us every day. Yeah? But without vichara, without self-control, self-effort, self-inquiry, not possible. So, inquiry. When something happens in your life, even a child can say things to you. Just look at it. What's happening? Rather than get your ego and button pushed. What's happening? And somebody could just, say that they are jnani and intelligent and knowledgeable people. They keep blabbering so many words. Just look behind it. Does it make sense? What is he saying? Just because you have an attire of a Swami doesn't make you a Swami. Understand? It's your heart, your mind, the space in you which creates wisdom. The space in you which creates wisdom. Space to receive and space to reflect. Make sense? That's very important. So 4 doorkeepers. Yeah, I've taken too much of your time. We'll talk about creation tomorrow. Very interesting. Any question? Yes?
At that moment, what made you not want to blast the doorkeeper, as you call it? And what made you receptible to his...
I have no idea.
Spirit of inquiry.
Vichara. We did the vichara.
Spirit of inquiry. No, really, I don't know. I don't know, it was just his words were like a shock for me.
So they touched a point in you.
Yeah, they knocked somewhere, they clicked somewhere in me. I was like, yeah. And perhaps I was ready to receive it. If I was not ready to receive it, I would have just brushed him aside.
And before that he charged you.
Huh?
Before that he charged you.
Charles?
No, you were saying you were educated.
He meant he wanted to drive.
Huh?
Probably.
Who?
No,
What?
no.
No.
No, no. No, not like that. I'm saying that before that he said that you looks like educated, means he was igniting you. There's something, something you can do. And
He
you-
was trying to push my button. Yeah. He said, whatever he said was true.
That's what.
Very true at that moment. Very, very
That's
true.
what the charge body can make the things.
Are you charged?
My teachers.
Huh?
My guru knows me. Means the one who has taken me for the first class, first part of happiness program.
Acha.
So I'm charged.
Okay, ji, whatever you say.
Sukhiji, how much time, effort, and energy did you spend on that letter?
To attain that letter, I mean, quite a bit. I mean,
Versus the words that came out of that person's mouth so easily.
Uh-huh.
What I'm trying to say is the effect of where your energy was and how it came about. Just a few words from the simple person versus all that time, energy, and effort to get that letter from this parliamentarian or whoever.
Yeah. But I was not even thinking. You have asked me something I was not even thinking.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, for me, it is my life experience because I have traveled so much in different parts of the world. Perhaps my mind is like that.
He was not a teacher then.
Oh. No, also, I've always been very, what do you call it? Very influenced by Guru Nanak and Kabir, growing up. And one of the things Nanak said in Japji Sahib was, Gaviye suniye man rakhiye bhav. The communication, when we say, I want to communicate, the very idea of communication has a few aspects to it. One is, the first is your presence. If you can't feel the presence of a person in front of you, you are not listening. Does it make sense? If your mind and you yourself are not present, no matter what the other person says, it means nothing. So Gavir does not mean singing, it means the present moment, the presence, the being. Second is suniye, listening. Yeah. Only when you are present, you are open to listening. But even if you are present and you are open to listening, if you have not maniye, like if you have not manna,
Accepting.
manna,
Comprehend.
नहीं उसको मान लेना
Acknowledge.
I won't say absorb it.
Be convinced.
Huh?
Be convinced.
Imbibing.
Imbibing.
Yeah, imbibing. Even if you have listened and if you have not made it a part of your life, it means nothing again. Isn't it? You keep listening to so many things. But manna, you don't say, yeah, you're not receiving it with open arms. You're not accepting it with open arms. You're shut. So gaviye suniye man, only then honoring it. Yes, honoring a good word. Understand, honor, all that. You understand? You have to absorb it, take it inside. Only then from the mind, man rakhiye bhav, then the seed of love, the connection, the love starts sprouting. It's a very simple thing. From childhood I've had this knowledge with me that, I never used to see people as high and low. Like you are a this person and you are Wherever I used to go, whether United Nations or, you don't need to. Whether UN or Prime Ministers, many Prime Ministers have taught and everything. For me, everybody is a human being. What's the big deal about it? Yeah. So people who see high and low, they are never happy. Because also another Japji Sahib says, Hukme Uttam Neech. Because of his will, because of the will of the nature, some people are doing this and some people are doing this and some people are doing this, some people are. It's our perspective, we see some people are doing low, some are doing high. It's not like that. Some are doing this, some are doing that, some are doing this, some are doing this, some are doing this. Isn't it? Hukme Uttam Neech. Because of that will of the infinity, things are happening. Because of the cosmic law. And we create these ideas of high and low. And that is ego. Seeing people different from you. Seeing that they are low and yes, please.
Yesterday you talked about, and a little bit today, about how, everything, when we try to pray to something, to get something, is actually coming from the inside, yeah? So
Yeah.
we do and we get. I wonder, where do you see being grateful coming in? Because, people normally being grateful to something outside of them because of what they get. So if you are actually the one that's at the core of it, yeah, the middle, the actual reason for everything, then who are you
Grateful to.
Yeah, and also, because I've done a lot of reading about how this state of gratefulness actually affects the very molecules of our being,
Correct.
from water to
Correct.
everything, so the
Yeah.
beautiful structure of that
Correct.
sense. So I'm just wondering, where do you see that?
Gratitude comes from unconditional love and surrender. When surrender happens, gratitude begins. Till the time surrender doesn't happen, there is no gratefulness. So unconditional love, when the unconditional love sprouts in you, just before that seed comes gratitude. Thank you. And that state is there because you're totally surrendered. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Infinity. Thank you, everyone, for giving me this life, for giving me yourself, your company. Thank you, world. Thank you, everyone.
It's the ultimate contentment.
You could say, that's another way of saying, but that surrender happens, that this ego dissolves.
Mm-hmm.
The surrender just happens. It's not, you can't do it. Nobody can do it. It's just a happening. When it will happen, nobody knows. Nobody knows. So that's why that gratitude is very small. Somebody gives you a glass of water, some doctors helps you cure for something, somebody helps you with this, that. That's a very, it's gratitude, it's gratefulness, but very shallow one. But the one which comes from the depth of recognizing unconditional love, surrender, nothing like that. You are complete in that you are total and complete and full. Total and full. You're joyful and blissful. Nothing can get you out of from there. Absolute nothing. After that, there is no looking back. No pain, physical, mental, nothing can shake you. It happens. It's a beautiful state. We might talk about it, we don't know. I have no idea. I surrender too. Thank you for coming. Have a wonderful evening. Keep smiling. Check.